What's going on, guys? Hey, it's Ben. Thanks for checking out the channel once again. I truly appreciate all of you subscribers, but those of you that have not subscribed yet, please hit the sub button down below. And if you like the content in this video, absolutely smash the like button at the end, or all of my videos for that matter. So anyways, let's dive right into it today. This is a question, basically question-based video that came from the comments, I believe yesterday. Somebody asked something along the lines of, how do you know how much to charge a client? And so I'll rephrase that a little bit and I'll say, how do you structure your fees? So I'm just gonna make this short and sweet, and I think a lot of you are probably thinking the same thing. Starting a recruiting agency, nobody really understands how this works because it's really private. It's very back end. A lot of people don't want to disclose this type of thing. They don't want to talk about it. And you know, generally you just don't know what a recruiting agency is charging their clients. For sure, if you're a candidate, you're definitely not knowing what the client is actually paying for you to be on, most likely. So there's two sides to it. There's contract labor and there's direct hire, as we know. And so I do a lot of direct hire, much more than contract labor, but I'll talk about both. So I work in the general labor space. And so in the general labor space, there's admins, there's warehouse, there's drivers, there's cleaners, there's production facility workers, anything that's lower level skilled, you know, mediocre, high turnover, high demand, you know, for employment, that sort of thing. So that's general labor. Those positions generally command about a 10 to 15% max fee on gross annual earnings, okay? So the way fees are structured in recruiting are, you take what that employee is going to make over the entire year. So if it's $18 an hour, they're going to make about $34,000 a year. 10% of that is about $3,400, which means you will make $3,400 when you place the candidate that makes $18 an hour. So that's how a fee is structured. Generally, I started my business in recruiting going in at 10% because it's basically bare bones. Nobody goes below 10%. You pretty much undercut everybody in your entire city or your area or whomever. And if you're willing to work and grind it out and hustle, 10% is where it's at, because you'll grab clients left and right and you'll be overwhelmed with clients basically. If you want to get a little bit more bang for your buck, you can bump your fee up to 12, 13, 14, up to 15% in general labor. I would not go anywhere beyond 15% in general labor because it's just simply outrageous. Beyond 15% gets into the tech recruiting realm, and that's 15 up to 25%, and it's just a whole different ballgame. So basically that's going to be where you're going to want to hit at. Now, 10% is going to be written out in a contract. You're going to put that in a contract like I showed on the other video. 10% fee. You can even write an example. If a candidate makes $40,000 annually, the fee will be $4,000. And then you're going to put your collection terms when you want to get your money. I put net 14 days, 2 weeks in, and then I put a guarantee period of 30 days, meaning I guarantee that the employee will stay for 30 days or I will replace them. Never refund. Never refund. So anyways, beyond that, there's the contract side. So how do you structure a fee for a contract employee? This one's a little bit harder. You really have to kind of look at your market, and it's very geographic based. So I talked to somebody that was in Indiana once, and they were doing staffing, and they told me that I think the minimum wage was like $8 an hour, and people were getting paid at warehouses something along the lines of $8.50 or $9 an hour or something like that. And basically, you couldn't make a markup on anything you did there. You could not make a markup. And really what you want to do in contract staffing is make a markup. So, or what we call a bill rate. So you're going to basically pay the employee one fee, like $15 an hour, and then you're going to bill the company another fee, let's say $30 an hour, okay? That would be a huge markup. A pretty good markup. That's kind of what you would want. You're aiming for basically the most money you can get out of the company in contract labor versus what you're actually paying the employee. So that margin, that spread, is what you're actually taking home in your pocket after you paying taxes on the employee, like their, Social Security, Medicare, FICA, FUTA, all those taxes that employees have to pay out of their paychecks. Like when you work in corporate America, you've got taxes that get taken out of your paycheck. Just like that, you actually have to pay those. So you have to account for that in your markup. And this can get very convoluted, but basically understand that anywhere between like a 48% to 55% markup is a pretty good, decent markup. You're probably going to make some profit. You'll cover all of your losses on the taxes and whatnot, and you'll come home making, a couple $100 or more on each worker that you have working on a certain contract if they're contracted through you. The other thing with that is, do you want to charge a certain bill rate that pays you a ton of money, but also puts a huge burden on the company? Well, the company's not really wanting to do business with you a ton if your bill rate is super high. Like if you come in and say, hey, I'm going to pay the guy $15 an hour, but I'm billing you $45 an hour. Well, first off, they'll just tell you to F off. They're not going to work with you. But if you come in at a rate that's reasonable, that most companies, you can do research, most companies in your area are coming in at, they're going to do business with you, and you'll be able to make a nice little spread margin and, get a ton of group of guys that are working for you, making you pretty much residual income. All you have to do is payroll and stuff like that. And so, my next video, I think, is going to be about payroll systems and how they're utilized and how you can set it up so that you can pay contract labor and stuff like that, because I myself do direct hire and contract labor. So anyways, that's it for today, guys. I'm going to, get back to work myself. I hope you all are grinding it out today. I'll catch you on Tuesday. Take care. Peace.